There's some crazy stuff going around right now, and here's some crazy stuff we got to talk about. And I know it's going to be controversial, especially when we talk about fat people here in a second. But I'm hearing people wondering how it could possibly be the case that some web designers are struggling to get local businesses to spend even a couple $100s on a website, while others are landing $10,000 and up clients. So I'm Lee Blue, I'm the founder of DoubleStack, where I personally mentor some of today's top earning web designers, and I'm seeing people land $10,000. In fact, I mailed this trophy to you when you land a $10,000 client. So how can I be mailing these trophies to people while other people can't even get a local business to spend a few $100s? Well, I think it's three things, and I'm curious to know if you agree. I think you will agree. If you disagree, let me know in the comments for sure. But I think if you disagree, it's probably not that we actually disagree. I think it's probably that we're running our businesses based on different business models. But see what you think. One of the things that I'm hearing all the time is that AI has come into our industry and has devalued everything because it's so easy to build a website right now. And so basically, if something is easy to do, it's cheap. If it's hard to do, then it's valuable. And I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I don't believe it in web design, and I don't believe it in any other category of life either. And I'll give you two examples. My daughter, I have a 17-year-old daughter. She just got her first job a couple months ago. And she manages she works at this doggy daycare retreat center thing. And so she's got to get up at 6 in the morning, and she's got to take people's dogs as they go to work and everything. And some of the dogs were there from the night before because they were boarding the dogs. And some of them are huge, like Great Danes and Pyrenees dogs or whatever. It's loud. The dogs are all barking all over the place. And they've got this big cinder block enclosure, so it's all reverberating in your ears. And she comes home all muddy and everything and covered in dog hair. I mean, that's hard work. That's hard. And it's also a little bit more than minimum wage, right? So it's hard, but cheap. So you would think, well, if it's hard, why isn't it more valuable than that? Well, here, let me give you an example of something that was very easy, but very expensive. I've told this story a couple times before. It's back when we were running our Cart 66 WordPress plugin. I was managing this Cart 66 website, and I had deployed a release of a new version of the website and everything, and traffic just stopped. It was it felt like almost overnight all the traffic just fell off a cliff. And I'm looking at the site, I'm panicking, I couldn't figure out what was going on. The other guys that were working with me, none of us could figure out what was going on. I ended up calling my friend Shell, who was running an SEO agency at the time. And I was like, Shell, man, I don't know what's going on. We lost our traffic overnight. It's have we been blacklisted or something? It's what in the world is going on? Can you help? And he's like, well, Lee, it's our team, it's the cheapest thing we've got is $1,000 kind of discovery package. I was I don't care, $1,000 is fine, whatever you need, we just got to get this thing fixed. So I give him access to the website and everything. A few minutes later, Shell is hey, we solved this issue here. And the problem was that when I was updating the site, I had a staging server, and in WordPress, there's this little checkbox that you can click if you go into the general settings. You can click this checkbox that discourages search engines from indexing the website, which is what I had. I think it might have automatically happened as I migrated the site from production to staging, because I'm almost 100% sure I didn't personally click that button. But anyway, the point is you don't want search engines to index your staging server. And so for whatever reason, that box was checked, and when it got deployed to the live site, it didn't get unchecked. And I just didn't think about it. I didn't think about that checkbox. So I was looking at everything. Nobody that even worked with me, nobody was thinking about that. Shell's team comes in, unchecks the checkbox, saves the day, and I paid $1,000 for that. So that's very easy for them, right? They just click on a checkbox and make $1,000, where my daughter's out there getting pulled around by these huge 100-pound dogs, 6 in the morning, covered in mud, loud, barking all over the place, making minimum wage. So if that doesn't show that easy doesn't necessarily mean cheap and hard doesn't necessarily mean value, I don't know what else does. So that is one of the things that I feel is critical to have as part of your mindset moving into the new era that we've got now for web design, because we've got a lot of tools that make stuff easy. But just because it's easy doesn't mean it's less valuable. In fact, I think it makes it more valuable, because now we're able to get better results for our clients faster than ever before, which is more value, right? That's what value is. If your air conditioner goes out and someone says, hey, I can fix it in 10 minutes, would that be better than if someone said, oh, we're gonna have to rip the whole thing out and rebuild it by hand, it's probably gonna take a month? Which one would be better? I'd much rather have the 10-minute fix, I mean, right? Like all other things equal, faster would be better. So that's thing number one. Thing number two is I don't think local businesses really want websites that stand out graphically. Like, I'm not saying this applies to every single one, but the old mindset of that when a business hires a web designer, that they're getting this masterpiece of art and that's why it's valuable. Nobody buys into that anymore. Like, very few local business owners are willing to spend the kind of money that they used to spend simply to stand out in a visual way. And I don't blame them. Like, I'd much rather spend money on the marketing, the traffic, the leads, the clients, the results, rather than having it look like Apple designed my website. And I think it's pretty obvious when you look at other websites too, that most people, like most even huge businesses, would much rather have functional design rather than like awesome graphic design. For example, Amazon. Do you ever go shop on Amazon? Does it look like a beautiful experience to you? Compare shopping on Amazon to shopping on Apple. It's radically different, right? So everybody uses Amazon. What about Best Buy? Have you been to that site? What about LinkedIn? What about Google? It's just a white page with words on it. So but it's very functional, right? But I don't feel like I'm looking at a beautiful experience when I'm using Google. What about, I don't know, LinkedIn, Reddit, Craigslist, for God's sake? It's like none of those websites look good, right? They're not beautiful designed websites. They just get the job done, right? They get the information out. It's functional. It's hopefully easy to use, but it's not gorgeous like an Apple site would be or whatever. So I don't feel like if I was a local business owner and someone said, do you need your website to look just like fantastically gorgeous and awesome, and I'm going to put all my money into like the design side of my site, I'm going to say no. I don't want to do that. I want to put my money into the traffic and the leads and the clients and getting fully booked and more visibility. Like I want the results out of it. I don't really need the dazzle of a beautiful design. And I think the web designers that are going out there trying to like sell their stuff based on how distinguished the website's going to look, because we don't use AI or we don't use WordPress or we don't do any of that stuff. We code everything by hand and it's all beautiful and handmade stuff. I don't think most local business owners are into that. I know I wouldn't be. I would want to say, give me a website that's functional, that will get found, that will book calls, that will get me some measurable business results. That's where I want to put my money. And I think there's a chunk of us as web designers that are more artists, thinking that we want to just focus on the art side of it to the exclusion of the results, and that's why local business owners aren't buying. So when you make the shift and put the emphasis on the results, you'll see a huge difference there. So that leads me to the third point, which is the most controversial of all, perhaps, but here's what it is. Have you ever seen a fat person with a treadmill? Well, why are they still fat if they have a treadmill? Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a struggling business owner with a website? Well, why are they still struggling if they have a website, right? So this is the point that I'm trying to make here is a lot of times you'll walk up to a local business owner and you'll say, hey, let me help you out. And they're like, oh, we already got a website. It's like, okay, I don't care. It's like, that doesn't bother me. I'm glad that they already have a website, because that's one less thing I have to worry about, because I'm not giving away websites. In the same way that if I walked up to a fat person and I said, hey, we're selling treadmills. You want a treadmill? And the guy's going to be like, well, I've already got a treadmill. I was like, I'm going to sell you a better one. And then he's probably thinking, you know what? I don't think the treadmill is really the thing standing between me and better health. In the same way, these business owners aren't standing there thinking, you know what? I don't think it's my website that's standing between me and better business health, right? And so why is that? So like, why does the fat person have the treadmill and still need to improve their health? It's like, because it takes more than the treadmill to get better health. First of all, you actually have to use it, right? You can't just have it. You have to do something with it. But you probably need more than just a treadmill. You probably need at least some good shoes or whatever. But you need like a plan. You need like a system, like what's your workout routine going to be? And then you got to figure out about your diet and your rest and your recovery. And you probably need to do some strength training and not just cardio. And then on top of that, you might have to cut some stuff out of your life that's wrecking your health, right? So like, there's a lot of stuff that you need to do in order to actually go from unhealthy to healthy in a physical sense. And the same thing is true in a business sense. Just having a website's not enough, right? You need to like turn on these like different engines. Like I call them revenue engines. Sometimes you can remember it because it has C, P, and R, like CPR, like you do CPR to your business or whatever, to remember what the stages are for this system. And the C stands for capture sales. Capture sales now. Like A lot of that's driven by your Google business profile and showing up in Google Maps. If you're a local business owner and somebody's searching for something and you show up in Google Maps, they're probably ready to hire you right now. So at least show up for that, right? At least turn on the capture engine. And then the P stands for pull, which is like you're pulling in clients over time. So that's like your nurturing sequence. And that's going to capture the people that are sort of shopping. They're not ready to buy right now, but they're shopping. They might be ready to buy tomorrow or a couple days from now. And wouldn't it be great if you could continue the conversation after they leave your website? Maybe they hit your site, read some stuff, they're thinking about it, doing some other research. Wouldn't it be great if you could email them like a drip campaign so you have a lead magnet, a nurturing sequence, maybe some social media? Like, wouldn't that be great? So why don't we turn on that P, like that buy later engine? And then you got the top one, which is the R, which is retain. Retain the clients. That would be like customer loyalty, like getting the clients you already have to come back and work with you more often. And if you're not doing those three things, what are you doing? That's the only way for local businesses to make money. That's it. That's all of it. Like all of the money that comes into a local business comes from people that are either ready to buy now, they're ready to buy later, or they're ready to buy again. So when I'm talking to a local business owner, I'm talking about the system of turning those three engines on, right? That's where the revenue comes from. You got a system that you can work. And here's the other thing that's beautiful about that. It's like once you get the system, that's just the beginning, right? That's just the beginning. Now, first of all, just doing the system will take you from like a few $100 websites or whatever to these $10,000 clients. Like it used to be, I used to focus on selling $2,500 websites long time ago. Like that was kind of my main offer. Now we're doing $10,000 systems. And so if you're not doing the system, you're leaving like 75% of the revenue on the table that you could be making. And your clients are probably not going to be getting the results that they want. That's huge, right? But that's just the beginning. Like that's not even the whole thing. Like once they get that system going, then you can stack on top of that other things like the AI stuff, like missed call text back and AI chatbots and AI answering services and stuff, like all the kind of like the fancy stuff. Like check out this next video and I'll show you like how we're selling AI services on top of a system to local businesses. And if you want to see how we're getting leads, check out up here and you'll see our local legends training if you want to check that out. All right, either way, I'll see you in a minute.